What's up, man? Hey, I got a good video for y'all.
For entertainment purposes only.
So sit back, grab some snacks, and I hope y'all enjoy it. Share all the subs, the likes, because that's the only way I'm gonna continue to grow this channel, man. I can't do it without y'all. Enough with the hold up. Let's get right into the video.
Tap. Let's see what you putting in your mouth under the microscope. Let's watch this. He put the tap water inside of the glass. Now he's putting it under the microscope. Do y'all see all these living organisms that came from the tap? And see, that's what you're putting in your mouth. That's what you're putting on your skin when you take a bath. That's what you use when you're cooking. Plus the chemicals that's inside of the tap water. See, nowadays, it is a must that you get you a water filter. Y'all need to go to the store, Amazon, TikTok. Go get y'all a water filter that literally filters your water out before you use it. Cause as you seen, the water ain't as clean as you think it is. Let me know what y'all think about seeing tap water bacteria under the microscope in the comments.
I don't know about y'all, but I stopped consuming tap water years ago. I even use bottled water for my food. But is that even safe with all the microplastics going around?
Like and follow.
President Kennedy was killed because of this.
President Kennedy was because he was going to release information on this. It's a burned document that was found, I want to say like 6 or 7 years ago, and it talked about buildings being on the dark side of the moon. He was in the Navy. He had a top security clearance. He was going to be handling video and film that came back from combat missions. And he goes, he got brought into a room one day. He said, the guy said, stay here, wait right here, I'll be right back. And he goes, so I'm standing in this dark room where they're developing the film, and the guy says, hey man, you want to see something really cool? Come over here. So he's like, oh, okay. So he goes, I go over there and check it out. And he starts showing me buildings on the dark side of the moon. And he said to me, these aren't ours. 40 different creatures that were coming here, 40 different aliens or 40 different terrestrials, ETs that were coming here. One of the former prime ministers of England said the U.S. has been dealing with a group called the Tall Whites for like the last 15 or 20 years. The Tall Whites were a group of very Nordic-looking extraterrestrials, very tall, light hair, just very, very big. There was some talk that in the early 30s that there was a guy, his name was Thor, and he was a tall white, and he was working within the Senate and Congress. You know, UFOs were as real as planes that fly over your house. I mean, he said, there's no denying it, they're there. You know, we know they're there.
By the way, this video is scripted and for entertainment purposes only. Stay weird.
The most alarming thing, according to the committee and Chairman Gallagher, is the failure of a lot of federal agencies to respond to this in a timely way. So it starts with this man who was in the country illegally. He was a Chinese national, bankrolled by the CCP, by the way, a fugitive from Canada, opening up this lab in Reedley, California, where they were doing experiments on all these hazardous material, samples of Ebola, malaria, strains of COVID, and then there were about 1,000 lab mice who had been genetically modified. None of that was permitted or authorized, all of it illegal. Now, Chairman Gallagher's report shows that there were local officials trying to reach out to the CDC and that they were, again, hesitant. I want to quote from it specifically. It says here, according to local officials, CDC refused to speak with them, and on a number of occasions, it was reported by local officials the CDC hung up on them mid-conversation. There was also dispute later. This report says that the CDC ended up destroying a lot of these samples without actually testing them, so we don't know the extent of what was actually in those labs. And he also says the FBI at one point dropped their investigation.
Hey, we barely made it out the first one, man. I don't know how we'll be able to handle a second one if it came our way.
So
it's about to get much crazier, so if you are woke, congratulations, you passed the test. Once you wake up, you will realize that something is always watching you. Are you being watched? Reason why they are watching you is because time is up. The word watch and watch, it's the same thing. So how does this mean watch? And this mean watch when it's two different things. It's a spell. I really hate when spiritual people say we are just having some kind of experience. No, we are really living in hell, a nightmare story. We all heard about the story of Adam and Eve. They try to tell us the truth, but they didn't really tell us the truth. They never tell us the truth. We have to figure it out for ourselves. Once the serpent came into the garden, it destroyed our whole story. When we was just spirits and before we came to the physical world, We had an agreement of a collective consciousness. The agreement was for us to live forever. We created a program called heaven, where it was paradise on earth. But once the snake came, it got rid of everything. Before the snake came here, we were fifth dimensional beings. We had a straight path to heaven. But once the serpent came, our straight path became like an obstacle course where we forgot where to go at. The snake gave us a journey. We were never on a journey, we overstood it. Now we on some kind of spiritual journey because we are stuck inside of the snake. Never forget that this language is a spell. When you writing in cursive, you're writing in the language of the snake. This universe is a hologram. It is a program. Everything is being programmed through the mind. But once we bit the apple, everything changed forever. Don't this Apple logo look kind of familiar? Apple Adam and Eve bit is the same Apple that is being used on Apple computer. Look at their slogan, think different. Once we bit the apple, we started thinking different. Please follow the breadcrumbs they always tell you. We went from walking the straight path, then when the snake came, we got lost. Look at the patterns. It looked like a snake is actually moving, right? Words are powerful spells. Be careful what you say. You know how they tell people, go get a mortgage and make sure you pay off your mortgage. Did you know that the word mortgage really means death pledge? And when you pay off your mortgage, there's always a percentage. Please look at the percentage sign. Look at the 1s and 0 computer code that we are living in. 1s and 0. The percentage logo is just 0s and 1s. You got the 0, you got the 1, and you got another 0. But they force everyone to get a mortgage, which is a death pledge. But we had a word mortgage and mortician. What's really going on? You know that mortgage is the death pledge. This is a mortician. I'm trying to understand why is the first 3 letters in funeral F-U-N. What's fun about a funeral? This is a hearse, something that leaves a funeral. So why is the word hearse in rehearsal? Unless it's just a play, a rehearsal. When this earth reset, we should be the ones that write new scripts and take back over because it's really our world. For more info, ebook, link in the bio.
Top 5 worst candies to eat, and the last one will shock you. At number 1, we got Sour Patch Kids. This is literally sugar and artificial coloring shaped into a little kid. You feed your kids this and wonder why they have cavities all the time. At number 2, we got Jelly Beans. Not only are these not that good, but all this is just artificial flavorings and artificial colors. You really think a rainbow jelly bean isn't going to have rainbow side effects? And don't tell me you guys are eating these Mierda jelly beans. They really have jelly beans flavored like rotten eggs, stinky socks, and barf, and you guys are eating this. At number 3, we got Starburst. You're not going to taste the rainbow with this one. All this is artificially flavored corn syrup, and this is one of the very few candies that will get you obese. At number 4, we have candy corn. Why do you think it's only served during Halloween time? Because 1, it sucks, and 2, because it has
I agree. It sucks.
some of the worst ingredients. Straight up packed with all these artificial colors and sweeteners, but also it's filled with leftover animal products and animal bones. And last on the list we have Skittles, and there's a lot of shocking facts about these. To get that shiny red color of a Skittle, they literally use boiled beetles. Skittles and jelly beans use crushed red beetles to get that red color. And that's exactly why I believe these are the...
Starting January 1st, 2027, the manufacturing and distributing of brominated vegetable oil, potassium bromate, propylparaben, I don't know if I said that right, don't quote me, and red dye 3 will all be banned.
I'm sorry, we're selling cars now, Amazon? Cars? Yeah, next year they will allow auto dealers to sell cars on Amazon, starting with Hyundai. They already muscled their way in and started doing this with these virtual showrooms where you can go in and build your own custom car. But soon you can just go in, search for vehicles that are available in your area, check out right on Amazon using your preferred payment or financing method. And guess what? You get Amazon Alexa voice assistant included with the deal. CarMax was down like 6% today on the announcement. And Carvana was hit too, even though I think they're more like pre-owned vehicles, but they're both that still direct-to-consumer online car business model. All this says Amazon is in an ongoing antitrust monopoly case, but they must feel pretty good about it because they just said, hold my beer. The dealer will still be the end seller, and they're not the first to do this, right? Tesla and Rivian have also developed workarounds in many states to allow vehicles to be sold to customers directly online, even taking legal action to fight laws that don't allow that in certain states. And you can bet with how much lobbying power Amazon has, it's going to be legal everywhere real soon.
Amazon said they coming for it all.
The truth about giants been in our face the whole time, bro. Petrified. Like, look at that. I'm telling y'all, yo, this was a couple right before they died. They perished. Something happened, yo, that made everybody turn to stone like on some Medusa shit. I'm trying to tell y'all. Like, look at that. Look at that mitt. Creepy. Look, if you turn the phone sideways, you could just see the face of the mountain right there. Crazy. Petrified big ass elephant. Look at that shit. Now you telling me they not telling me that's a grandpop that was sitting before you mean?
I don't know, they reaching with this giant stuff.
Bro, this is a female's body. Y'all see that? Look at the foot.
The largest human skeleton ever found was 25.5 feet tall, and it measured a width of 10 feet from shoulder to shoulder. That's huge.
The Garden of Eden, which is spoken about in the Bible, is on the earth right now. It also accompanies the largest mountain in the world, which is being hidden from you, which is the holy mountain of God, Mount Zion. So they have told us that there is no land at the North Pole, except all the early NASA satellite footage has these black holes at the center where something is being hidden. It's the Garden of Eden and the Mount Zion. This is an early map of the North Pole from the 1500s. You have a mountain here in the middle with a whirlpool and then 4 rivers coming out of that whirlpool. And a river went out of Eden to water the garden, and from thence it was parted and became into 4 heads. You have Mount Zion, and then under Mount Zion you have the Garden of Eden. You have the whirlpool or the river coming out from underneath there, and then that river breaks into 4 heads. In the center here it's called the Rupus Nigra, which translates to Black Rock, which is also the name of the largest investment company in the world. Coincidence? I think not. I also took a live windfinder shot of the North Pole where they say there's no land, but there's this massive diversion of wind here at the North Pole. It is Mount Zion. And how do I know the Garden of Eden is here too? Well, first, remember, we have the 4 rivers. Ezekiel 29, verse 13, Thou hast been in Eden, the garden of God. Thou wast upon the holy mountain of God. So Mercator, when he made this map, he actually sent it in a letter to John Dee in 1577. John Dee was an advisor to Queen Elizabeth, so this letter was literally sent to the Queen. This mountain was also depicted by many ancient cosmologists. It's not a coincidence that Paramount has it in their logo. Then what do you think this represents? It represents God's firmament with the stars inside the firmament. He made the stars also, and God set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. Now, if you didn't know, on the flat earth map, the North Pole is literally at the very center, so this mountain is at the center of the flat earth, just how it's depicted here. Now we're going to read this scripture from the book of Enoch, which was removed from the Bible. From thence I proceeded to the middle of the earth, and beheld a happy and fertile spot. So Enoch was in the middle of the earth. Then I saw a holy mountain, and underneath it water on the eastern side which flowed towards the south. Guys, literally just pull up a live windfinder view and go to the North Pole, and you can clearly see there's something huge there. If you want to learn more about this, go download the True Earth book right now. It tells you all these hidden things about the flat earth. It also comes with access to our private Discord community. So wake up. They don't want you to know this stuff because it proves the existence of God, and it proves that His word is true. God bless you. I'll see you in the next one.
Frequencies can do what to cancer?
The transducer is placed over the target, in this case, a tumor in the liver. Sound energy passes through the body to those tissues, creating an energy field that creates bubbles then. And the expansion and collapse of those bubbles is what mechanically then fractionates those tissues. Now, other therapeutic ultrasound generates vibration that then creates heat to destroy those tissues, which could then potentially damage other tissues nearby not targeted because of thermal spread. With histotripsy, that pulsing is provided in very, very short pulses that allows then a mechanical force, and so that the range of destruction of that tissue can be precisely controlled and monitored in real time. The tissue then gets naturally absorbed in the body after the treatment, and then natural healthy cells can regrow.
So you mean to tell me this whole time that we've been saying frequencies can heal certain illnesses and things of that nature? Y'all thought we was crazy, right? And if we look at the 7 hermetic principles, we can look right here, the principle of law of vibration. Nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. So if everything vibrated, so that means that illnesses and things like cancer and diseases, they vibrate too, right? Frequencies identify patients with cancers primarily found above 1000 hertz. So cancer does have frequencies, and if you tap into that frequency, you could heal it. Aren't you guys entertained? This is definitely for entertainment purposes only.
Frequency has been used for a long time, so I wouldn't even doubt that it can heal cancer, and much more than that.
Let me know what y'all think about what frequencies can do to cancer in the comments. Like and follow for more wisdom, and stay tuned.
Every week, every month, every year, they say the world gonna end, but it never ends. Why? If it's not asteroids, it's meteorites, it's earthquakes, it's volcanoes, it's what the hell is going on? Reason why the world won't wake up is because most people can't handle the truth. It gets really scary. This new age movement programmed a lot of people to make them believe that we are having some kind of spiritual experience. No, we are in prison. Then they want to say, well, we all decided to lose our memories to come here to redo it all over again. Why? You have to understand, and overstand that the matrix is a spiritual loop. It's a time prison. Ever ask yourself, how come time only move in one direction? Why don't it go backwards? Next year is going to be really epic because it represents the 8. It represents the loop. Don't this really look like a number 8? 8 represents wealth and abundance, but it also represents the time loop. We are going back to the loop again. This is the same reason why the word timer is actually remit, because once your timer is up, you remit it and do it all over again. Tick tock, tick tock. We are the hands that circle on the clock. Remember, time only moves forward. What are they leading us to? How did we even get in this time loop? We all ended up in this time loop called the Matrix prison because we accepted the gift. The gift was the moon. Once we accepted this moon or this false gift, we went into spiritual debt because we had no way to pay these aliens back for giving us this moon. The moon is responsible for us aging. As it goes through its phases, we get older. I want people to understand something. Before men was created, woman was on this planet first. It was the goddess. The goddess had no period until the moon came here. They knew if they could attack the goddess, they could change the DNA of every life form on this planet. And they did that. It was only after the goddess, only the goddess. You look at the woman reproductive system, it looks familiar if you know what you are looking at. If you look at this trophy and go back and look at woman reproductive system, it kind of looked alike. That's because the woman was always the trophy in this universe. If you conquer her, you conquer everything else. Like I said, woman had no period until the moon came here. When y'all think y'all drinking the blood of Christ, you are really drinking the... Never mind. Moon actually controls the water currency and it controls time. So since we are 70% of water, it actually controls us. Not only that, it controls every law on this planet. All court laws is dealing with the laws of the water. These people that control the matrix, they're treating this planet like it's just a ship. So the courtroom in the ship is the same exact thing. Did you know when you actually go up there and take the stand, you are treating like you on a ship and you are on a plank about to jump into the water. But you know that's on the ship and on the plank, there's always sharks waiting for you. If you are...
And we do have a birth certificate, a certificate of birth. If that's something to do with like ships or something, I don't know. Leave a comment, let me know.
In debt, what do they send after you? The loan sharks. Everything is connected if you follow the breadcrumbs. If you don't have money, then you're going to be in jail. But if you can pay your bill, you can actually sell the water once again. It's funny how the word bell and sell is almost the same word. You know how when you pull your pants down, they say, okay, that person just mooned me. Why when you pull your pants down, they call it moon? They are trying to tell us that we are asses because we don't understand what they're doing to us. Ebook. The link is in